Hello guys, welcome to tutorial Ace, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create multiple middleware in Laravel 10 and 11. In 11 there is breach which I will discuss later, but first I'm going to show you today with Laravel 10 that how you can use multiple authentication using multiple middleware. So first thing what we will do, let's install a new brand Laravel. So this is the Laravel folder. So what I'm going to do, just I will create here one new Laravel application. So so let's write the command composer create project preproduced Laravel and then project name. So here in place of project name we will name it as multi auth. Okay, so now let's install the project. Laravel project is being installed here, as you can see. By the time this is getting installed, let's do one thing. Multi auth, this project, let's open into Visual Studio Code or whatever text editor you are comfortable in. So I will open here. All right. Okay, so cd multi auth, or cd multi auth. Okay, now we are in the project. So PHP artisan serve. Now let's open this project into the browser here. So this is our Laravel newly installed project. Now what I want a 3-layer of authentication here. One will be for default admin, second will be for candidate, and third one will be for employer. Okay, so let's do one thing. Come here and Control C, then PHP artisan make controller, then controller name will be candidate controller. So candidate controller has been created. Now second one will be employer controller. Third one will be for admin. Right, now let's create model for all. So make model admin, make model candidates, make model employer. Now the time is to create middleware. Okay, PHP artisan make middleware employee middleware. Middleware, one middleware is created, and second one will be candidate middleware. Alright, once we have created all these things, let's now put the code one by one. So if we go here, then we can check inside app we have models. So inside models we have created admin model, candidates model and employers model. There are three models, right? So basically this is user model already there, so that one is actually for email, password and login, all that. Same thing we can use here inside employer admin, and for rest of the things like candidates and employer we will be using different middleware. Okay, now if you go inside controllers, then you can see we have created these controllers: candidates controller, employer controller, admin controller. And now inside middleware, if you check here, then we have created candidates employer and employee middleware. Now let's start from implementing. So inside routes, let's go here and then web.php. But before that, let's do one thing. Let's create one registration form for employee and employer. So let's go to our controller file, and then here we will write candidates code. Okay, so let's create one function here. Okay, so we have just created here one function called public function index, and inside that we are including here this view candidates dot register, which we will create later. But before that, let's create a schema for these. So go here, and so what we will do first, let's create table called php artisan make migration, then create candidates table. Okay, we will create a candidates table here first, and then the second one will be employers, right? We are not creating for admin because there is already authentication system in Laravel which we will use for admin. Okay, now let's go to database app, and then database. Inside that you will see migration. So this is the users table which we will use for admin, and this one is for create employers, and this one is for candidates. So let's start from here. We will add few field here for candidates. So our complete field will look like this. So what we are going to add here: name, email, password and user role, and timestamp is by default. Same thing we will be using for our, so this one is for candidates. Same thing we will be using for our employers also. But you can add whatever field you want, but email and password or user and password definitely you will have to use, or else how you can authenticate. Okay, so these two changes we have done. Now let's do one thing, and yes, one very important thing which we need to connect with the database, and that is from .env file. So here this is for MySQL, so here you need to write your MySQL user and password. So I'm opening here my MySQL workbench, and then you can open PHP MyAdmin as well, whatever you want. So in my case I'm using this, and my port number is 3308. By default the port number for MySQL is 3306. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I will create here one database or schema, create schema. So I'll write it Laravel multi auth, and then apply. This is our database name. Okay, so now it is created. Okay, now what we will do, let's come back here, and then port number, as I mentioned you, in my case the port number is 3308. Normally the port number is 3008, and here database name is this one. So the username is my admin in my case, but in your case normally it may happen that root, if localhost, then it will be root and password blank. In my case here my admin and Angular 13 is my password, but normally if you are using localhost, then root and password is blank. So we have connected this. Now here PHP artisan make migrate we need to write. PHP artisan make migrate. Actually we don't have to write make migrate, that's a mistake. So PHP artisan migrate is enough. Now you can see these are the tables which have been created successfully. So users table, which we will be using for admin, and here candidates table and employers table. So these are the tables which might have been created. Now to verify that, let's go here and what is the table name? Laravel multi auth. So let's refresh here. Yeah, this one is our database. Now this one is our database. So now check tables. As you can see, candidates and employers, these two have been successfully created, and these are the fields name. So same way, so as you can see, the table has been created successfully. Now our next task will be to create the register form and login form for each role. Okay, so let's close this because this task is completed. These two also. Yeah, from here we will create one register form. So let's use the command PHP artisan make view, and then candidates slash register. Oh, that's spelling mistake. PHP artisan. Okay, one view has been created, register blade.php. Same way, let's create for, and here login also, login, and then we will create for employers, then login and register. Okay, the views has been created. Now we need to write the code inside that. The next step will be to work on our routing system. So let's go to routes and then open here web. So the first thing what we need to do, we have to call here candidates controller that we have created earlier. So let's find here in controller section, controller, candidates controller, spelling is right, controller. Okay, and then here let's close it, comment it, it's not required anymore. So let's write this route post, then candidates, this is our controller alias, and then register will be the function name here which we are calling. So this is a controller is a class name, and here guys this is the function name which we will create here inside controller. So we will write here public function register. So this function we need to write, and inside this we will write insert code. But before that, let's see if it opens or not. So let's go to views section. So you can find the view inside resources, and then inside views and inside candidates we have created this register blade dot PHP. Now let's write code for register blade. So inside register blade, what are the fields name? The fields name is name and yes, let's do one thing. Inside views, let's create one folder called layouts. Inside that, we will write here main, or let's name it app dot blade dot php. So this will be our master blade. So inside this, let's write this code. Actually this is bootstrap code. So what you need to do, this is title, and I have included here bootstrap CDN 5, and this is navigation bar, and here the content will be loading. And this is bootstrap and jQuery including here in the footer. So our master blade file has been created successfully. Now the next task will be to work on this register blade. So inside register blade, so here let's write this code, and this is nothing, just I'll explain you. Actually the idea is to show you how to do multiple authentication. I'm not going to write here the code line to line, but if you know basic of Laravel, then you can understand this. And for this tutorial, it is important that you should know the basic of Laravel, only then you will be able to understand. So here we are extending our main layout, and then title we are providing here content. So register candidate the heading, and if there is success message it will show here, and form, it's not a store actually, register. Our function name is register, which we have written here in controller. So that's why we are providing here inside register, and then we have filled name, email, password and user role. Okay, so here inside user role, for example this is candidate, right? So for candidate, let's make it drop down. So now this time what we have done, we have provided here developer and designer two user roles. Okay, so it will be in drop down. Now let's write the code for insert, but before that let's check whether it's running or not. Okay, so here we need to write register, let's check the routes web candidates, then register. Oh, we need to start the server, php artisan serve, right? Now refresh. Okay, started. Get winner supported for route register, supported method post. So we need to write one more function here, candidates, and then index, candidates index, that we have here, because we wanted to write here. Actually this will be here by default when the page will load, and this register is particularly for registration form, right? No, that was fine. Register is our candidates is our folder name of view, and then inside that we have register blade, this one. So when we write here directly candidates, then that form should open. Route home is not defined. Where? Okay, inside our layout. So register app blade, where is route home? Here. Okay, currently let's delete this, it's not required. So refresh it, and then you can see our registration form has been successfully created. Now we need to write the code to insert the data into our table. So basically when we click on register, password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, we have not written the code, so it will definitely not work, because we are inside register function we don't have anything, that's why. So we need to write here the code for inserting the data. So this is our code. This is for validation, name required maximum this, email validation, and then password minimum 8 characters, and then this will be user role, developer and designer, any one of these. Password we are making hash password here, which is from after 8, this is hash make, this is more secure password, so creating, and finally it should enter into that and it will return to index page with this success message. So let's try to register now and see the magic. It's already sorry, then password 1 2 3 4 5 6 8, and I'm selecting it, developer, register. Okay, hash is not a method, we need to include this. So we need to call two things here. One is our model, which is candidates model, and second one is hash, which is for hashing the password. And one very important thing, in the model we have to define our, so models, let's go to models, and then this is candidates, we have to define here field label, that means our field name, and that is we need to write here this field label. Okay, so name, email, password and user role. Now we will try to insert. So simply let's refresh and check. Okay, it says candidate registered successfully. Now to verify that, let's go to our database, and then yes guys, you can see successfully it has been created here. So name, then email, password which has, and user developer created, and blah blah. Now the next task will be to do similar for employer, right? So now come back here, and for employer also the model will be same, right? So rather we should write here same thing, because model field label, the fields name are same, that's why. So one task we have completed. The second one will be employer controller here. So once again we will write here. So in this case we have created one function index and employers and then register. So we had this one, right? Employer register. Let's go to view, that resources, and then employers, and then register file. So we have to create similar things like our candidates we had created, right? So everything is same, then why not just copy this one and paste there whole. So register, let's close it, and then register blade. So everything is same, just we need to change here we will write dates. In same way we will write here register candidate. Okay, actually that should have been not candidate, it is employer, right? Employer, here also employer, and here employers, which is our controller name, and then let's close it. This is employer controller, so that's why we are writing there register blade here, this one, this is inside employers. So same will be employers, first name, last name, and role let's change here from developer to something different, say owner, and then staff. staff. Now the time is to create here similarly these routes for employers. So here will be employers, employers, and then employers here as well, and of course this one employers controller we will call here for this. So now let's check and try. Just we will name it as employers. Okay, it says employer controller does not exist because we need to write here use app / http simply let's copy this and just we will change the name. So here the name will be employer controller, this one. Now let's try. Yes, so this is our employer registration page. So of course finally we need to write into our controller employer controller here as well. So why not just copy the candidates controller everything, this one, because everything is almost same. So this section we will just copy and paste, but of course here the model will be different. So two things we need to call here. The first one will be employers. Employers. Oh. Which is our model name. And hash is fine, and wherever there is, so here it will insert into employers model name. Okay, and here after employers, why key is not working properly? Right, so now let's check, refresh it, and then this time password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, role will be owner, right? Register. Okay, role is invalid because here owner and staff, what we have given in our blade file, owner and staff, that's why. Candidates, owner and staff. Now it should work. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, it says employer registered successfully. Now to verify that, once again we will go to our employers table. Guys, as you can see, successfully this has been registered as well. Now the real task we are going to do, and which is login. Now before we write here login function, this is our register function, right? And we will write the code for our login function below. We write the code for login function here, and this time we will use the authentication of this is employer, right? For our employer middleware which we had created. If you remember, we had created two middlewares here, candidate middleware and employee middleware. Two middlewares we had created, right? So this time, since we are going to work on employer, so actually it should have been employer here, so no problem. Now let's go inside this and write some code here. So what we will do, we will change this function here. So what is this? This is our middleware name, employer. Okay, so auth card employer, if you check, then it should send to, let's modify this. If the user is logged in as an employer, then it will redirect to employer's dashboard, okay, or else it will return to home or whatever, say login page, employers.login. It will return to login page with error message. Okay, to use multi middleware, this is the step number 1. Whatever we had done previously, that is very simple, that is insert, update, delete, but the actual task is getting performed from here. So and same way, just copy this code and paste here inside candidates middleware. Just replace this function and then just write it here. So not if to leave the whole function, so we need to copy the whole function actually from here to here. Just replace this function. And course class will close here. Error. Yeah, it's fine now. So here will be candidate. Remember, you should always give here not plural, singular. Okay, so here will be candidates.dashboard or else candidates.login. So here you can see it is checking the auth with this auth card which we have created, not the default one. So this is step number 1 which we have done. Now the next step will be to go inside config and then app.php. Here you can see not app, actually config.php, auth.php here. So this is the default one. Okay, so and guards this one. So what we need to do, we have to add our guards here, what we have created here inside middleware. These guards, we have to add our own guards here. So let's go, and then so we have added here 2 guards. One is candidate, and remember, this is very important to understand, and you have to keep in mind, this is our guard names. Okay, and this is our providers, and in providers there is extra s Okay, so don't get confused here. This one is this name and this name is exactly same. Okay, and this one this, yeah, this one is for provider internal identification. You don't have to worry about that. Similarly, this is employer without s, and this we will use this name. Okay, and this machine will internally, Laravel internally recognize in the provider employers. Apart from that, we have to add here to provider class also. So this one is default provider. We have to use our own provider as well. And here you can see this candidates and this name should be same. This employer and this name should be same. And also here you have to specify your model name. So here will be candidates because our model name says plural, employers. Okay, that's it. So two changes you have to make into auth.php, which is inside config file. So this is the step number 2 which you need to keep in mind. Now the third change which we need to do is inside our model file. So go to the model is controller, middleware, and yes, I forgot one thing. We have to define our these two middleware's aliases here as well. So just copy this, paste and paste. And what is your middleware name? One is employer. This is step number 3 or 4, whatever. So employer and candidate. Okay, and here of course the class name will be ours, which we had created middleware. So this employee middleware, and here candidate middleware. Okay, that's it. Yes, the next step is to change here inside model. We have to add here two line of code which is foundation auth as authenticable and notifiable. Okay, and here we need to extend this here candidates extends authenticable. This will be in here. One more thing we need to call, and that is authenticable. That's it. Similarly, we have to change our employers model as well. So just change it. Employers, and then everything is same. Why just employers and then authenticable. Okay guys, so now it's ready, and let's close it, close kernel as well. So let's close it, register blade also, candidate.php, this one also, auth also, middleware also. Now here we will write the code to implement our custom middleware, and that is employer middleware. So this is the code which we will use for login. So request email and password, and here is the magic and very important. We are using here card as employer. The same. So what is this employer? Actually this is the middleware. Now let's try to log in. So what is happening here? We are doing gathering here with credential, email, password. Okay, and then we are using here our employer auth card which we had just created. So what we need to do, we need to add here one page for login, right? Now let's go to our here inside resources and then views. So we are working on employers, right? Yeah, so employers, and then yeah, login blade is already there, so just we need to write our code. So it's inside employers login dot blade file, and this is our app, layouts app, employee login. So it is nothing but email and password, just we are sending from here. So now inside our, let's close it, admin control not required. Okay, so actually we are working here. Okay, so login page is ready. Now what we need to do, now we have to go to our routes file, here web routes, and then we have to write here authentication code. So here in this code, let's add 2 lines of code here for login. Okay, and the login is employers login, and the first one is for displaying or this show login form, which we will create inside here, employers.login. This is the name, and similarly this one is for after when we will submit the button. So this will call the login. So we have to now create this show login form. Okay, inside our employer controller. So public function show login form, that's it. So employers.login, it should display there. So now here employers/login, if we write, then that form should open. Says yeah, successfully the form is getting displayed here. Now we will try to check if the login is working or not. So that is the main test. Okay, for employer, let's go to database and find this employers, rajesh@gmail.com and 1234568, right? So it will be Rajesh, the password is 1234567 Now check. So click on login. Yes, it says controllers auth not found. So here is error, as you can see. So what we need to do, let's go here and simply call this auth. Okay, now let's try, just refresh. So again it says okay. So now guys, successfully we have logged in, because now it is checking here that it is going inside this. That means dashboard, register, and then yeah, that means it is successfully logged in. That is why it is trying to find this route which we have currently not defined. So once we will define, then it will go to employers dashboard. So let's do that. So here let's create one function for employers dashboard. So here below, let's write this code, one function called dashboard. So what we will check, it will check if the code is employer auth guard, then it will display here employees dashboard, or else it will redirect to our login page. So let's refresh it once again. It should say the route is not defined. So of course we have to define here route inside web, and yes, that route, the dashboard route, will be authenticated, right? So for authentication purpose we have to write this code. Middleware, here group middleware, so whatever files will be inside employer, we will keep inside this employers dashboard and then class middleware employees dashboard. So in short, we are authenticating that if the middleware is employer, then it should be able to enter into this one, this dashboard page and logout page, these two. So logout we have not created actually so far, but we will create, and this is the authenticated one. So suppose this is dashboard, it can be edit candidate, anything. So employer, so whatever will be, this will be inside our inside this middleware of employer. So now refresh and check. Now it says the view is not defined, so we have to write our view here, dashboard view, inside the inside our employers, right? We are working here, so just let create one file here. Employers, no, dashboard dot blade dot php. So if you refresh now, then it should display blank. Here it is showing blank, so we will write the code here. So let's open that one. It must be inside here, dashboard blade, right? Write the code here. So this is our layout file, and here we are checking if auth guard employer check, then welcome card employer username, and then here user role it will show. So according to this, we have to modify our controller file here as well, because inside view we have to send here the details. So we need to write one line of code, simply just change it. So we are semicolon. So we are, what we are doing, we are getting the details from here and we are sending to the our dashboard. Now guys, refresh, and yes, dashboard welcome Rajesh, and this is role is owner. So guys, as you can see, we have successfully created our own auth guard and we have implemented it successfully. Now the time is to test for the candidates. Okay, so same process we will follow for candidates as well. So the first thing, let's check here the model. I think model we have done, na? Candidates, yeah, models modification we have already done. So what we need to do is just we have to work on our controller only. Employer controller, we have already done this. So what I believe, everything is fine, is same. Only thing which we will change is up to here, right? Register is already there, so up to here we just need to copy and paste inside our candidate, because apart from this everything is same, just we need to change here the auth name. So of course here will be candidates and then login, and inside login email password is same, so here will be candidate. This is our custom guard which we had created. Here as well, candidates. Candidates and candidates, and here employer, it will be candidate. We will create this dashboard there also. So this is the login for our candidate. Now in our, close this one also. So inside web, similarly we have to write this code for our middleware. So here will be candidate, and here will be candidates, same here, and here as well, here as well. So this one, this middleware, this checking will be for candidate. Now apart from that, we have to write code for this one. Here employers login, here will be candidates login, and then this login submit, show form, and here will be employer not candidate dates controller. That means for login, candidates login. So when we write candidates.login, then candidates login should show. Now let's go to candidates and login. Since we have not written anything inside our this view file, employers, so why not just copy from this one also, blade file, employers, and this is candidates login, because everything is same. The only difference, there is no difference at all. Here only we need to change candidates. Rest of the things are same, and register is already there. And one more thing, from employer just copy this and paste inside this. Okay, so now our candidate has also same, but here it will be candidate, and then here as well, rest of the things are same. Here I'll write candidates dashboard. So now let's check, refresh it, it should show login form. Yeah, it's showing. And for checking this, we have to go here, and for candidates it is globalswanasoftware@gmail.com. just copy this here. Okay, and then the password is same, 12345 1234567 login. Okay, auth is not defined here as well, so we need to define auth. So inside employer controller, if you remember, we had added this auth eliminate, so same thing we have to add here as well. Now let's try. Candy, oh, double D somewhere, somewhere mistakenly we have written double D for candidate. Yes, but you can see we have already entered into dashboard. That means what? Our login is already successful. So I believe that inside our dashboard, which dashboard is this? Candidate dashboard. Candidate. So let's find candidate. So let's find its controller, candidates controller, right? Have we it's somewhere candidate dashboard. Somewhere we have mistakenly put double D. Okay, here candidate right. Now let's refresh. Yes, so guys, here, okay, as you can see, when we are logged in as candidates, then it is showing employer, which is totally wrong. It is because here I have put employer, it should have been candidate, because it is fetching data from that one, that is why. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's put logout button in both, then we will be able to verify it properly. So inside our dashboard, employer's dashboard, currently we are inside candidate dashboard, right? So let's put a logout button here. So just we need to put here one form for logout button, and similarly we have to create here one logout function. So inside logout, it's very simple. We are using this employer, since we are inside employer auth guard, so employer and then session invalidate, and whatever token is there, it is regenerating, and finally it will be sending to login page. And do we have logout? Yeah, we have already for both. Okay, so it should work. Now refresh it. We are inside candidates and dashboard. Candidates dashboard. Okay, we have made changes inside employer, so we need to make changes inside for candidates as well. So just put here function change to candidate and candidates, and then similarly we need to change in dashboard as well. So employers dashboard, here also we have to add the logout functionality. Now let's refresh, and logout is here. Post method is supported for route and logout supported method get head, it's possible. Oh, it's get, that is why. Here will be post in both. So now let's try this logout, and successfully we are. So currently there is something wrong, because it is why it went to employers after logout. So actually there is mixing up something. This is candidates, so candidates, all are candidates. Okay, here is the catch, it will be candidates, na? We are just copying paste, that's why. And dashboard was displaying of employers, that is why we are seeing their Rajesh. So that was the problem. Now it should be solved. So we are now login as what? Employers, right? So for employers, first let's log in with candidate. So this is my as a candidate login 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 8 invalid invalid 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. There is something wrong. Okay, so it says there is problem in login here, employer. Okay, so let's do one thing. This is our employer's login, this is our candidate's login. Okay, similarly this is our employer's register, employees login register login, and this one candidates register login. We have 4 forms here, right? So let's do one thing. Let's clean here the whole data first. Right click and truncate table, truncate, and employers as well, truncate. So now if we try to open, it is blank, and this one is also blank. So let's register fresh. So as an employer, I'm writing my name, and here my email ID, password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and role as owner, register. It's successfully registered, and now we will log in. So this is email ID as employer, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now guys, successfully I'm logged in, and it is showing display owner. Now here as an employer, I'm writing Aninda, then Anindo @gmail.com, and then password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. User role as a developer, now register, and finally I will log in from here. So Anindo and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So now guys, you can see now this is Anindo and developer, and this one is the one very interesting point. You can see here I'm refreshing this one, but it is displaying this one also only, and I'm refreshing this one, then it is displaying this one only. So in spite of in session, if you can see in session, the table name is same. If you go to our model, then model, let's open this one. Everything is email, password, user role same, all fields are same, all fields are same. In spite of this, in spite of being the field same, you can see it is maintaining session totally different. So guys, this way you can completely separate each user differently, and you can use multiple middleware, and this way you can work on the project. So hope guys, as you know, it takes a lot of time and effort to create the video. So don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any question or queries, don't forget to subscribe as well and write there. I will try my best to upload this code into GitHub so that you can download and you can implement and check. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.